Hello everyone, my name is Jenny. I'm your IELTS tutor, and in this video, I'll be sharing the sample answers that I have made for this Part 1 topics, farming and New Year. In case you are going to take your IELTS speaking exam for the first quarter of the year, January to April 2021, expect that these topics might come out, okay? Actually, this is suggested by one of my subscribers. His name is Iqbal Singh, and he is requesting to upload a video about trees, New Year, farming, and decoration. So right now, I'll just be tackling about the topics farming and New Year. Okay, so let us begin. I've prepared 2 to 3 ideas for each question. Please read with me, do some shadowing. For the first question about farming, have you visited a farm? Yes, I went to a farm before, and as far as I can recall, it just happened a couple of years ago. I went to a poultry farm because I major in veterinary medicine, so it's normal for me to go to animal farms. Okay? The next one, honestly speaking, I've never been to a farm before, and it is mainly because I was born and raised in the city. I don't have any family members who live in the countryside who have farms as well. So visiting a farm never happened to me. Okay, so I have prepared a yes and no question, or yes or no answer, I mean. Alright, so in IELTS speaking, you can definitely make up some stories. You can tell a lie, it doesn't matter. What matters the most is that you speak fluently, okay? Now let us continue. What kind of farm do you like? So I've prepared 3 sample answers. I love fruit farms the most, and it is because they're very colorful. I especially like apple or cherry farms because I think the fruits look so attractive when they are ripe. Another sample answer? I guess it would have to be animal farms, and it is simply because I'm an animal lover. I always have a blast every time I see different kinds of animals. So, I always have a blast, by the way, this is an idiomatic expression. So try to include idioms in your answers. At least try to include 2 to 3 idioms in each part. Part 1, 2, and 3. Okay? It's one of the technical requirements to get band 7 and above in IELTS speaking. Now, the last sample answer. What kind of farm do you like? I think it would have to be vineyards. My favorite fruit is grape, but I've never been to a grape farm yet. If given an opportunity, I'd love to visit a vineyard in the future. Okay, so vineyards, basically, it's a grape farm. But normally, they don't call it grape farm. They call it vineyards. Instead of saying, if I have an opportunity, if I have a chance, you can say, if given an opportunity. Right? So in part 1, it would be much better that you try to give specific examples. So here, fruit farms, animal farms, and then vineyards. So just choose which farm do you like. Okay? Now for the next question, do you think farming is important? So please read with me. Yes, definitely. I strongly believe that farming is extremely significant and is due to the fact that our food sources come from the farm. If we don't do it, I'm certain that we will suffer from food shortage. When you hear questions about important, try to paraphrase it. Try to say, instead of saying very important, try to say extremely significant. Okay? So that you can get a good score in vocabulary. Instead of saying because, that's only one word, try to say instead and it's due to the fact that. Somehow it will make your sentence longer. And of course, it's much better to use topic-related words. So since we're talking about farm, try to say food sources. Right? Food shortage. So our food sources come from the farm. If you don't do farming, I'm certain that we'll suffer from a food shortage. Instead of saying, I'm sure, you can also say, I'm certain. Okay? Now, the next sample answer. Yeah, absolutely. I can say that farming is really vital, and it's mainly because it's an important source of livelihood in most parts of the world. Farming is important because it provides food and jobs in society. Right? Okay, so any sample answer is fine. Just try to meet the technical requirements set by the IELTS organization. And one of the technical requirements is that you need to do some paraphrasing. You need to use topic related words, you need to use idioms, and of course, most importantly, you need to speak fluently. Okay? Now let us continue. The last question for farming. Did you do farm work when you were young? So instead of saying when I was young, you can say when I was a child. When I was younger. Paraphrase. So let's begin. To be honest, I've never experienced working on a farm when I was a child, and it is because I always live in the city. I haven't lived in the countryside, so farm work was impossible for me. Or you can use this idea. Yes, I experienced working on a farm when I was a child, and it is mainly because my uncle has a rice farm. My mom and I would go to his place every summer, and I experienced planting some rice before. So you can give, a positive answer or a negative answer. So if instead of saying no, I didn't work in a farm, that's too direct, you can try to begin your answer with to be honest, honestly speaking, right? Now let us continue. So let's talk about New Year. Okay? So please read with me. How do you celebrate New Year? The way I celebrate New Year is basically the same with other people. I spend time with my family and we have a feast before 12 midnight. My mom usually prepares a bunch of special dishes and it's always exciting. Instead of saying many, a lot of, you can say a bunch of, right? And then the next answer? Well, in my country, we celebrate the New Year by eating traditional Korean food and we call it rice cake soup. But apart from that, we also have family reunions and we would have small gatherings. You can change some ideas here. So we usually eat traditional Indian food. We usually eat traditional food in my country. So just change some ideas. Okay? Now let us continue. Do you still remember a new year that you celebrated? So I prepared two sample answers here. First one, please read with me. I think every new year is memorable. But the new year in 2021 was the most unforgettable because during that time, my family and I just stayed at home. Every time there are special occasions, we always eat outside. But because of the pandemic, we were stuck at home. Okay, now let us continue. Yeah, definitely, I can still remember it. Last year, my family and I went to the sea to see the sunrise, and we made a wish to be rich and healthy, and I think it was fun. So when you speak, when you answer the questions, try to put intonation. Avoid speaking in a monotone. Okay? So try to sound like a native speaker so that you can get 7 and above. 7, 8, and 9 in IELTS speaking. Alright? Now let's move on to the next question. Do you have any ceremonies to celebrate the New Year in your country? So please read with me. Yes, absolutely. In my country, people usually wear colorful clothes and we also indulge in fun-filled activities such as dancing, playing games, and attending parties. We also eat traditional sweets and pachadi or sweet syrup. Okay, so this is actually for my viewers in India. Alright, now the next one, this is my viewers in Korea or in Southeast Asia as well. Yes, actually, we have a lot of ceremonies to celebrate the New Year, and one of them is hitting a large bell in a public place. If in New York they have Times Square ball drop before the countdown, in my country we have an annual bell ringing ceremony. Okay, now let's proceed to the next question. Why do people think New Year is a new beginning? Well, I guess it is because it's time to start anew. It's usually time when people make new goals and somehow New Year makes people feel hopeful because they can start all over again. Alright? So you can use this idea if you like. The next one, I think it is because it makes us feel that we need to make changes in our life and start on a new path. It's also a time when we say goodbye to our old habits, problems, and difficulties. That's why people think New Year is a new beginning. Okay? So I hope that all the ideas that I have used here are helpful in your IELTS preparation. So thank you so much for watching my videos. If you have any suggestion, please feel free to comment below. Thank you. Bye.